Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of ZTL3 Swiss. Today we have a game between Violet River, aka Amogus Fan, versus When They Cry. River needs no introduction. She's a really strong draft player and OU player. She's currently at the top of the HDI leaderboard if I remember correctly. So very strong player, very strong player. On the other side, When They Cry has not played any other tournaments in the ADV draft circuit and has found themselves in the 2-1 pool with a strong start. So we'll see how both these players do. Looking at the drafts here, River has a Starmie Blissey draft with D-Knight, Loom, Glalie, Nidoking, Hypno, Relicanth. A nice 8-mon draft. Any one of these mons could be brought. You might be thinking, well, Relicanth is a 2-pointer, surely it's not bringable, but I don't know if it shows up in this game, but in later games it definitely puts in a lot of work. So I would consider this an 8-mon. On the other side you have Meta, Doug, Moltres, Jolteon, Blastoise, Ampharos, Weezing, Graveler. Really interesting how you kind of have like Meta Doug and then a bunch of special attackers, kind of like this. I think this game's going to be super trade heavy, with there being Glalie spiking and booming, and Metagross boom into Doug, and Weezing boom into Doug. I think it's going to be a lot of trading, and while River doesn't have too many Doug targets, only really chipped Starmie and chipped Blissey and Breloom and Nidoking. Okay, that's actually not... that's kind of a lot, but at the same time, 2 of those targets need to be like at 50-ish% HP to actually get the Doug Trap and KO off safely. So I don't know if you can really count that as being 4 mons. We'll do 3. We'll count those as half Doug targets. I think River's gonna obviously bring Starmie. Looks super good in this matchup. Looks like it just kind of mows over the entire team with Hydro Pump and T-Bolt. I think that's kind of all you need. Maybe Psychic for Weezing, if you feel that that's necessary. I think it's just going to be T-Wave Recover. Yeah, maybe T-Wave Recover, Double Stab, or just 3-attack Recover. D-Knight doesn't get Rock moves in this game, I think. I'm pretty sure he does not get Rock Slide, and that's awful. But I think somehow, someway, DD Dragonite with like Lum or Heal Bell could probably do a lot here. Admittedly, there's not much stopping it other than like HP Ice Moltres or Blastoise and Metagross. Okay, that's actually kind of a lot. But I think given that there's going to be spikes up, I think it's going to be hard to pivot these guys in to stop a DD sweep, so I think that could be a potential angle. Or it might just like switch in on an HP Ice and die, but you don't really... I wouldn't expect that from River at all. That doesn't... I would not expect her to make a critical error like that. On the other side... Oh, I guess to finish up the little bit about River, I think she's just going to bring her top 6. I don't see Relicanth being useful here into Metagross or Moltres, or none of these mons are really things Relicanth beat. It's mostly good at beating normal spam stuff. And maybe Hypno could come in for wish support, but I feel like the game's going to go by so fast that you're not going to want to bring this. CM Pass to Starmie might be good. On the other side, I think When They Cry is going to bring Meta, Doug, Molt, Jolt, Blastoise, and one of Ampharos and Weezing. I would say drop Ampharos since there's not really any, like big special threats that you're stopping with it that other mons can't deal with. Like it's a nice stopgap into Starmie, but I think you definitely have good counterplay around it with Jolteon and Doug Trio, that you probably just don't need it. I'd bring the Weezing to help deal with Breloom and D-Knight and even Nidoking. Well, with our pre-game analysis out of the way, let's actually get into the game here. So we're gonna see Jolteon versus Starmie. River's gonna switch out, obviously. BP into Meta. Oh boy, that's really bad. So clearly this is CV meta. but crit para is quite possibly the worst thing that could happen to River. Looking at her team, there's a good chance she doesn't have a real normal resist because Relicanth probably didn't come due to the Metagross, so we'll see how she plays around this. It looks really difficult. Gonna go into the Nidoking. He's gonna take out 65, which is so much, but ends up living the hit. Slackberry. This is probably to deal with Jolteon later, but you kind of have to sack it to trade HP on the Metagross now, which is unfortunate. This is gonna give Starmie a chance to get a free recover off here. So unfortunate, gotta sack the Nidoking, but really good for when they cry. Now has one less threat to deal with. That crit is also super massive. Wow. There's no free Spore there. River looks like she's gonna opt into just getting some spikes down, as when they cry goes to Weezing, maybe to chip it down with Sludge Bomb. There it is. But this is a good trade for River. She's just gonna take the 3 spikes, and even though there's the Blastoise in the back, it's quite abusable. Interesting stay. Another free recover for Starmie here. We'll see if it's actually T-Bolt. Oh, T-Wave. Okay. That makes me think that maybe it's not T-Bolt, especially for switching out here. Back to this sort of interaction between Weezing and Glalie, where River's just gonna get the spikes up. And I bet she probably booms here instead of getting the 3rd spike. Yeah. Okay. So now you play the game of trying to keep the spikes up. I guess as long as you get good enough... Oh, Jesus. If this isn't T-Bolt... Okay, River has sacked 2 of her Mons for what has pretty much just been some mild chip on Weezing, which could be important later. Still, not what you want to see. T-Bolt Para into full Para is super good for River. When they cry kind of on the back end here, as I assume River's just going to click recover over and over and fish for a full Para. A nice roar. It's kind of scary if it clicks Surf, but at this point you have Parad Moltres, which isn't doing anything to the team, so you just want to get as much value as you can. Maybe you could save this as a sack for later. Looks like when they cry is going to opt to not do that, to try to get the Bliss Trap off. So this is going to open up the game for Jolteon to potentially win. If it's HP Ice, I think it kind of wins on the spot, because you have... yeah, this looks really good. D-Knight's going to come in, clearly. No other way to play around it. So here's kind of the problem. You're completely reliant on this Blastoise, because Jolt can't switch in here, because that +1 Dragonite outspeeds Jolt. I think the Metagross is super chipped from the Nidoking from earlier, so it can't really switch in. Weezing's super chipped as well, so it can't switch in. So you're completely reliant on this Blastoise being able to tank a +1 hit and kill with Ice Beam. I think whether or not this Blastoise has enough investment to KO here is going to determine the game. And it looks like it does not. So I do not see a way that when they cry can make it back here. Oh wow. Incredible DD. Wow, huh. I was thinking that Weezing lived that, but I guess not. Oh, I suppose, I want to look at that again. I suppose what happened here is, so obviously River has to go all in on this D-Knight because Jolt cleans up the rest, especially if it's HP Ice, which I assume it is. I think we might have seen it earlier and I just missed it. No, we definitely did because it clicked it into Breloom on a switch. So yeah, Jolteon completely cleans up after this D-Knight's gone. And I assume here that the Weezing dies to +1 hidden power, HP flying, and so you want to chip heal it and sack this, which River sees as the only way she loses, so she just goes for another DD. Really, really good play by her. And it looks like, yeah, that's gonna be Rabs. I don't think the chip heal plan is horrible, but if you get called out, definitely hard to play. Yeah, yeah, very, very interesting game. Unfortunately, this is hurting my anti-D-Knight agenda, as this thing has completely just saved the game. and went from what looked like an unwinnable endgame into a completely won endgame with some DD magic. That's very unfortunate for my anti-Dragonite agenda, but nonetheless, interesting game, very fun to watch. So this will put River in the 3-1 pool, and When They Cry into the 2-2 pool. Yeah, 2-2. So they're going to be playing for their tournament run every week. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.